especially when you look at social media and you see people, and you see different people's lives or their bodies or their this or their relationships or whatever it may be. Yes, of course, you can compare yourself in every shape, way, or form. But that goes back to self-love. When you really are doing the work of loving yourself, there's room for all of us. There really is. And I think that's the thing, is like, I champion other women, and I champion women filmmakers and artists, because there's absolutely room for all of us. Like, everybody is so unique. And that's the thing that I always say. Like, I've said this in a ton of interviews, you are unique, and that is your superpower.
So welcome to the Tea On, where we sip tea and we talk about things, preferably things that matter. And today we're definitely going to be talking about things that matter. We're going to have some female empowerment going on, and I'm excited about it. I'm here with the beautiful and the wonderful Diane Foster, who, is there anything that you don't do? Like, you're a singer and a dancer and an actress, and above all else, you're a producer, and you're the head of a production company that I think, above all the incredible content that you're going to make, I think it serves such a huge purpose in being a safe production company for women and for people who need to have these roles in society. So thank you for what you do. But I am going to let you introduce yourself, but I just want the people to know that you are a woman of many trades. So
thank you. That was such a beautiful intro. Gosh, can I have you around every day? When I walk in someplace, here she is. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you. I just think you're awesome. And I think what you're doing is incredible by speaking to people about all the different things that they're doing in the world. So thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And so just to give us a short intro for yourself, how did you come into this entertainment industry, and how you unfolded in all of this?
Yeah. I've always performed since I was a kid.
Right.
So I come from a very big family, a big New Jersey family, and I had all older siblings. So I started performing since I was little, and I did a lot of stuff in New York, mostly theater and stuff. And then I moved to LA, got into film and film production. And then I've really spent the last, I've been in LA now 18 years, which is so crazy because it happened like that. But really spent the last, 5 years just sort of, I came out of my marriage and just sort of becoming my own, figuring out who I was. So in that, I really have spent the last 5 years developing what I wanted to do with my company and working with different people along the way. So now, I have my company, and we do short films and feature films and music videos and all kinds of stuff. So
so incredible. So awesome that you're so firm in your purpose. And being in this industry, it takes a lot of confidence, and a lot of just confidence in your ability and confidence in yourself. And I can safely say that just looking at you, I think there's a lot of this is energetic, and I can safely say that with you, it's very obvious that you are very firm in where you stand in your skin. You're comfortable and you're confident. And I want to know, what does that mean for you? What does empowerment mean for you? Do you have a sort of upkeep that you do in order to stay in that sense?
Yeah, definitely. And it's taken a lot to get to where I'm at. I think about myself 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know that woman anymore. I really feel like for the first time in my life that I am fully myself, and really, living out all of my dreams and creating them into realities. So definitely important for me is working out is a huge thing. I do that. I do have an amazing trainer. And for me, I enjoy working with somebody else. I think if it was just by myself, I do it, but then I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yes.
So working out is really important. Just pushing the boundaries of your physical body, I think, is really important. So that is helpful. And then also I do a lot of meditating and a lot of reading about self-love, a lot. I'm pretty much signed up for every kind of self-love blog there could be. And I just think it's important. I read them every morning. Like that's literally how I start my morning, is that just by reading those things, because I think it gets you into a space of like, okay, today I really have to take care of myself. Number one, because if I don't take care of myself, how can I take care of anyone else around me? Yeah. Or just the world at large. So we really have to do a good job about that. And it's funny because I was talking about this with somebody the other day, and I was saying like that concept of like self-love is something that is really new to me. Like this is not something that I even like recognized as a teenager or anything. And I really wish that I had, because I think that I would have chosen different things or had different people in my life at those times than I was doing something that was like too toxic or whatever. I didn't even recognize because I wasn't loving myself enough. Right. So I think that's really important. That's definitely what I try to instill in everyone that I meet. Like, make sure that you're taking care of yourself first. That's so important. Absolutely. So those are the things that I do to like really help me just kind of stay on task.
Yeah, honestly. And it is a commitment. I think it's really important to say that, there isn't like, you can't meditate once and be, at peace forever. Just like you can't shower once and be clean forever. So it is something that you need to upkeep, right?
Exactly. It's a process. And some days, believe me, I do not feel like going and working out. Sometimes I'm like, no, I'd really rather stay in bed, But then when I do push myself, I'm like, wow, I feel so much better that I did that. Was it hard? Yes. But on the other side of it, I feel really good. So
absolutely. And you exemplifying that, you leading by example of being somebody who is so just dedicated to their self-care is going to enable so many women and empower so many women to do the same. So there's so much purpose in that. And also why I was so excited to talk to you about this was because, like you said, you need to care for yourself before you're even capable of caring for the collective or for anyone in your family. And I do know that you are a mother of 2 beautiful children, by the way. On your Instagram, I saw them and I was like little cherub angels. And I want to know just the process of stepping into this role of a woman who is making her dreams come true while simultaneously, being a mom and playing both roles. How has that experience been for you?
You know what? It hasn't been easy. I will say that, but it is, being a mom is the best job that I have, certainly. And it's really, it's not easy. And my kids now are 14 and 16, so they're teenagers. And let me tell you, that is not easy because they're finding themselves, and it's certainly my job to, create a path that they understand that I'm here and that I can be compassionate and understand that they're trying to figure out who they are in this world, and I mean, I just turned 40 and I'm still figuring it out. So, but I think it's really important that, especially as mothers, we don't just put away our dreams because we are a mother. That's something that I think that I did for a long time for many reasons. And, now that I'm empowered enough to say, hey, I want to do this. These are my dreams. That doesn't take away from me being a mom. That doesn't take away from me being a great mom. It's just showing actually that to them that you can do and be whatever you want. And I think that's really important. I think women, moms, like we're amazing, and we take on so much more than I think even people recognize. And, I think you have to 100% make sure that you are putting your dreams first. Now that doesn't take away that, obviously, yes, my biggest job is to be their mother, but I can do all these things. I don't have to just do that. And I think showing them that and showing other moms that is really important. And it's really been, it's been such an amazing time over the last couple of years of just creating my company and, working with people. And I think that my kids do see that. They see mom works really hard, and, and hopefully when they get a little older, they can work for my company too. I want to put them to work if they want to, of course, with, work in production. But I just think I just think it's such an important, empowering thing to do as a woman, no matter what. Even if you're not a mom, I think that you should be focused on what is it that really sets your soul on fire
Yeah,
first and foremost. So
absolutely. And women are multifaceted, and we have layers to us. I think if you have one label, society will just kind of keep that label on you. But like the truth is that we're capable of playing many roles. We're strong. I think that's something we've proven time and time again. And like you just mentioned, I think it's more empowering to be, I mean, every mom is valid, but like to be a working mom and to show your kids that you are, you can do this and you can build something for yourself. I think that's huge, and it's a beautiful lesson that they're seeing play out in their own home. So there's so much purpose in that. And being because it's very obvious to me that you are like very aware of sort of changing the narrative of our world, right? You're with your production company and just like making sure that you're putting the right faces and the right possibilities. Raising two people who are going to be adults in this new world, what are some lessons that you really want to make sure you instill in them? Because we're creating the generation, the new world.
yeah, it's really fascinating actually looking at the world through their lens, because
Yeah.
I think that certainly as an adult, I can look at a situation and say, oh wow, look, I did not learn those things in school. I did not, so I'm constantly trying to have them push the boundaries of wanting to learn more, and also having conversations. They're amazing about talking to me about things. My daughter will come in and sit in my bed and just talk about stuff like, I want to know more. Like, I want to know about this. Do you know about it? And if it's something that I don't know, I want to learn it together. And I think that's so special. And I think that's something that we can do. And, depending on your children's age, I think that it starts really young, just teaching them about how this world is for all. And, I think the more and more, like my kids, they don't, they're really growing up. First of all, the world is so, of course, this year with everything that's going on, just it's just like, whoa,
Yeah.
So I think they are, not only for them is social media very much a part of their life, which I didn't have that, like the biggest thing I had was like a pager, literally,
Right.
and then like MySpace, so I think growing up in the world of social media is twofold. It's good and it's also bad. I think, comparing yourself to others obviously is not good, but also seeing the world as we can see the world now, like we've never before, is so important to recognize, oh, guess what? We're not the only ones here, and that we have to do better. We must do better. And if we can, and we have an opportunity to change things for other people, we have to. That's really the thing I think that I am trying to instill in them most importantly, is that they have an opportunity to change the narrative for other people, and that is the most important thing that they can do. And that is what I can do, and I hope, and I'm very proud of them. They're both really amazing kids, and I just hope that they continue to grow into wonderful, healthy, successful adults. Whatever success means for them, as long as they're healthy and taking care of themselves, that's like that will be the best thing ever for me.
Oh my gosh, they're incredibly lucky to have you, I will say, because that's such a beautiful outlook to have. And that's how we change the world. That's how we do a ripple effect, so that's incredible. And I'm so curious to know what your experience has been thus far, not only just being a mother, but being a woman stepping into this industry. Have you had experiences where you've had to sort of look and say, maybe I have to build this for myself, if maybe certain opportunities or doors were closed for you? Because I feel like I've had that experience where I was like, I'll just do it myself if no one else is gonna let me do it. Have you ever had that?
Yeah, I think that's so important that you did do that. And I think that's like, that should be the goal actually of every creator, because you know what, if it's not there, create it for yourself.
Right.
And luckily we do have a platform now with the internet that we're able to actually put stuff out. But yeah, absolutely, I think
Yeah.
Oh man, there's been so many times. I was just talking about this with my friend the other day, and we were just, we were talking about, sexual harassment in the workplace, and we were talking
Right.
about all kinds of different things, and this is like really relevant, and people want to like squash it down and not talk
Right.
about it. And it's like,
Right.
no, actually, this happens all the time. I
Literally.
remember coming here to LA and meeting as just as an actor and meeting with agents and stuff like that, and being propositioned many, many,
Mhm.
many times. And all of those times, thank goodness that I had enough, I guess, self-awareness or self-confidence at the time that I was like, I actually don't need to do those things, and I don't need to be treated this way in order to get further. And I'm glad that I kept that, because a lot of times that happens, and women don't have anyone to turn to, or even
Right.
know what to do, or feel
Right.
ashamed. And that's
Right.
totally unacceptable. And
Absolutely.
especially why I wanted to start a company that it was a safe place for everyone.
Yeah.
And I just, that's something, I don't want that world. I don't want that world for my daughter. I don't want that world for my son. So
Mhm.
why would I want that world for anyone else? I don't. I want to see it change, and I want to see people really take responsibility for their actions.
Mhm.
And I think when you get higher up and you get more power and more power, I think sometimes, unfortunately, that can go to people's heads. And I think we have to really level the playing field and say, like, it doesn't matter where you are, as far as famous as you are or whatever you're doing. It's really important for you to be a good person, number one. Like,
That's the
is that
secret.
really that hard? You know what I mean? Like, can we just be a good person, And so I think, yeah, I think that is a huge reason why I wanted to start my own company, and
Mhm.
just create projects, for other people and other voices that we have not historically heard from before. And
Right.
I think it's that's really important. I want to see different stories. I want to see different things from different people. Don't want the same thing over and over again. And I just, again, I want to create a safe place for people, and not for them to have to go through those things. And if they do, then there is a place that they can talk about it, and that
Yeah.
we can change that.
Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely. Create that safe space, and you're creating that safe space. So that's just the most empowering thing that you can do. And bringing up Wallybird, I would love to know what the mission was behind that for you, because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in the industry you don't see a lot of women, especially like in production roles, which is crazy because they're so capable and they're so talented. So I'm sure it was a driving force for you to be able to create that space where that could happen, right?
yeah, I think that it sort of came twofold. I mean, I think that I've seen over the years, if you just, even if you look at the end of films and you look at the people who worked on them, predominantly it's, males in all of these different leadership positions: cinematography, producer,
Right.
editor, whatever it is, all these, director. And for me, I don't know. I just think that, obviously I think women rock, obviously, but I think that I just wanted to change that. I wanted there to be the opportunity for women to be in these leadership roles, and I was not seeing that enough.
Mhm.
And that's really what I'm trying to change. And believe me, it has not been easy, even as a female producer.
Mhm.
Even as the boss, it
Mhm.
hasn't been easy, because I have had to sort of keep pushing even in this role.
Right.
And that's wow. But I've sort of had to just keep my nose to the grindstone and just keep going. And so that was definitely one of the reasons why I started my company.
Right.
And I think that I had just gotten to the point where I had done a lot of freelance producing, which was great. And part of my job is putting teams of people together,
Mhm.
and getting all these kinds of different people on board. And I was like, I want to do this, but I want to do it so that I'm really choosing the people, these teams who can work together and I think would be really great together. And
Yeah.
then also telling stories that typically aren't told, or or don't really get an opportunity to get told. So
Right.
that was sort of the main reason why I started it.
Right.
And I think in 2018, my oldest brother passed away, and it was very hard and very difficult for my entire family. And it was something that, in starting my production company, I named it after him. It's Wallybird Productions, and we used to call him Wallybird as a nickname. And that was in honor of him, you know. And I know still now he's just smiling and he's proud and happy. And he was like the life of the party kind of guy, and just wanted everyone to be happy. And I think that's really what my company stands for, is making everyone happy, and, you know, bringing everyone together as a collective. So
what a divinity! What a divinity! I'm sure he's so supportive and upholding this, and especially because I would assume that it's not easy, and especially, you know, to sort of like solidify yourself in such a male-dominated industry where maybe perhaps your voice wasn't taken as seriously as it should have been. Was there any self-doubt that you had to overcome when sort of building this thing for yourself that maybe wasn't even yours, but perhaps was like inherited or put on you at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think that's inherent in everything we do. You know, I think especially as women, right? We like totally like, should I? No. Oh, I don't know. You know, like we're so like, oh, we'll just kind of keep the peace, you know? And it's like, no, don't keep the peace. You know, it's just like I'm reading, I don't know if you read Glennon Doyle's book Untamed, but it's just so fabulous, you know? And, and there she's like, you know, talking about the cheetah, and she's like, you're a goddamn cheetah, you know? And it's like, that's right, damn it, I'm a goddamn cheetah. And I think, you know, I think we do that as women all the time. We constantly put ourselves in this position of like, oh, no, I shouldn't, or maybe I should have, or then I'll look you know, whatever, you know, I'll look like a bitch or whatever. And it's like, you know what? No, we can't do that anymore. We have to be unapologetic in what we want. We really do. And you know what? Yeah, there's going to be people that are like, well, I don't want to work with her. Okay, fine. Moving forward, you know, I think that's the way that we get stuff done. And I'm not saying that you have to be outright mean or anything like that. I think that you just have to stand for what you believe in, especially as women. That's really hard. And we do get a lot of pushback. We do. And it's unfortunate. And that's why we have to continue pushing. The numbers of women working behind the scenes in film is so low. And that's crazy. We got to get those numbers up. You know, across the board, in gender, in racial diversity. Like, this is not a conversation that we can just keep talking about anymore. We have to create action behind it. And that is one of the main reasons for me why I wanted to start this company. It's like, I made a film with two other people called Make-A-Wish. I was a producer on, and we were dead set on every single person that worked on that crew behind the scenes had to be either, you know, racially diverse or gender diverse. Like that was something that was a goal. And we were like, you know what, we're not going to just hire anybody because it's easier to do. It was actually really hard to find people, believe it or not. And it was like, well, that's why we did this, because we want to give people opportunities. So, you know, I think that you just have to keep pushing it. Even that self-doubt is going to be in there 100%. It's going to be like that little talking guy on your shoulder. You just got to go, no, you know, no, I'm not going to listen to this. I have to push forward, especially if it means something to you and you're really passionate about it.
Oh my gosh, yes. And look, you're leading by example, and you're doing the work. You're making those opportunities, and you're making those spaces, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? I think that the soil is so fertile right now for women and people of all ethnic backgrounds to really step up and say, you know, I'm going to make my own opportunities, and I'm going to seek them out, and I'm going to lift everybody up, you know. And I think that's what's so beautiful about your energy, is that you don't seem to be like anybody who's comparing herself or anybody who's competing. You know, you're firm in who you are, and you're uplifting other women, and you're making space for other women, and that's so powerful and purposeful. And like, thank you, you know, because I'm pretty much the soul face behind what it is that I do as well. And I will say, you know, I'm like in that middle ground of like being a millennial and being Gen Z and being tied to the social media world where self-doubt is sort of aggravated because of the constant, comparison to others. But it's not a matter of being free of fear. It's a matter of acknowledging your fear, but still pushing forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And believe me, I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, well, I'm never doubtful. Like, of course I am, and especially when you look at social media and you see people, and you see different people's lives or their bodies or their this or their relationships or whatever it may be. Yes, of course, you can compare yourself in every shape, way, or form. But that goes back to self-love. When you really are doing the work of loving yourself, there's room for all of us. There really is. And I think that's the thing, is like, I champion other women, and I champion women filmmakers and artists, because there's absolutely room for all of us. Like, everybody is so unique. And that's the thing that I always say. Like, I've said this in a ton of interviews, you are unique, and that is your superpower. And it's so true. It's like, just realize there's nobody else on this earth like you.
Right.
And I think, when you really dig deep into that, that is some powerful stuff. It's really deep. It's really deep. And you're like, okay, wow. Yeah.
There is
no one like me
right now. Yeah, absolutely. Totally. I think an empowered woman is a woman who loves herself, and a woman who recognizes her authenticity and her uniqueness, and sees that.
And is not afraid to support other women.
Yes.
I think that's really it too. Because I think that we can sort of get into that like hater life thing, and it's like, we really don't have time for that, you guys. Like, life is so short as it is. Like, let's just really appreciate each other and appreciate that we do have all these different nuances, and that we're all different, and we each have these unique things that we can bring to the table. It's the old saying, right? The more the merrier. Like, yes, like we want to have more people like this. I think like this is what we want. And I think your generation, for sure, I'm obviously older than you, and I think that your generation specifically is really the ones changing the narrative of like the way that you want to see the world. And I'm 40, so I think that I sort of have seen the world change so much, and I'm so grateful for that. And I want it to continue that way. Like, yes, let's keep this going. And that's, and again, another reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I want to keep and make it bigger and bigger and bigger. I just want to be, this like production factory that's just like churning out amazing content with all kinds of different people from all over the world, and we're having all kinds of different conversations, and like that's really where I see it going.
Yeah, and that's where you're going. You're in it already, honestly, and it's so empowering to see for me, because you standing in your power, like I said, it enables and it empowers all of us, and no one else's light is going to dim yours. And like you said, there's room for all of us. So I'm just, you honestly, you didn't even realize like how empowering this conversation was for me, just like filling back up my cup, because sometimes you do need that reminder that, paving your own way is purposeful. And and so what is next for you?
And it's not easy.
Go ahead. Make your point.
No, I was just going to say, it's not easy, it's really not easy. And I think that, but that's the thing. I think that if you realize that and you keep pushing forward, even though it's not easy, like, that's the thing. It's just like in exercising, it's hard, and you're lifting those weights and you're like, I want to be done. But if you just keep pushing through and you keep breathing through, on the other side of that is like, you have this like awesome like arm, like, so you just have to keep doing that. And I promise you, I'm telling you, I was at a point in my life where it was really, really, really bad. I mean, I just went through some really crazy stuff, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. I really don't. I was really down on myself, and I was like, no, you know what? Just keep it moving and pick yourself up and keep it going. And now I can talk about that, because I'm on the other side of it. And I promise there is so much freedom on the other side of the pain, you know?
Mm.
So you just gotta keep going, keep in that purpose.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was feeling burnt out yesterday. So like this was like the charge to my batteries that I needed. And yeah, there is another side. Um there's a reward that comes with it.
Yes.
Thank you for enabling that. And yeah, and what is next for you? What are you working on? What do you want the people to know about? Are you in a
Yeah.
rest period? That's valid too.
What were you saying?
I was saying if you're in a rest period, then that's valid
Oh,
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I definitely took a little vacation with my kids, which was great and really just kind of like recharged my soul, you know. But I am constantly working. I really am. I got to tell you, there's like never a dull moment here. Um, but I have so many amazing things happening. A film called Shiri that I produced. It has a female director and a female star and writer. Yay!
Love that.
That just was a winner of the Stage 32 short film contest, which is like super prestigious. And now we're going to be showing at the Austin Film Festival in Texas. We're going to be showing at the Rain Dance Film Festival in London. And we're going to be showing at the Holly Shorts Film Festival, which is Oscar qualifying in Hollywood. So yeah, it's
Incredible.
really exciting. And it's just, you
Deserving.
know, it's just an amazing, it was a project made out of love and, you know, three females behind the helm of this story. And it's just like, yes, like I'm so proud of it
Oh my God.
because it's totally like women empowerment. So I love
Yeah.
it. And then I have another film called Dissonance that is in post-production. It is like so close to being done. We're just kind of finishing things up, and that's going to hopefully run the film festival circuit. I have another film, Make a Wish, that is in over 20 film festivals all over the world. So it's just exciting things. So what I've decided to do is in the coming year, I mean, everything is kind of difficult with production right now, obviously because of COVID and, you know, what's going to happen and how are we going to be able to create stuff. So I really am in the creative mode right now. I'm writing a couple of different things. I'm writing for the first time a television show about single moms. So yay. I'm very excited about that. And then I'm writing a feature film based on my experiences in my life. And I think it's going to be pretty interesting. So
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see everything that you create.
yeah. So
Honestly.
all of that. And then also I'm constantly, you know, talking to people and I have a bunch of different, you know, young filmmakers who are sort of from all over the world, who are super diverse and have different stories that I really want to tell. So just trying to figure out like the slate for 2021 and, you know, things that can be produced and actually made. And I'm reading a lot of scripts from a lot of different amazing people. So I want people to know that like they can always reach out and send me scripts. And, you know, I'm happy to talk to filmmakers all the time. Like I love doing that. And even if it's just like advice on like, do you think, you know, do you like this? Is this cool? Should I send this to somebody else? Should I, you know, I'm always happy to talk to people.
Mm.
It's a collaborative effort. So
Yes, absolutely. And you really are leading the collective and you're making space for everyone to do the same. And I'm so excited. You're so deserving of all of these like accolades and all of these huge accomplishments because you are putting in the work, not just like physically and outwardly, but you're putting in the work inwardly as well. And both are valid and both are hard. Work is hard. Inner work, outer
thank
work,
you.
all of it. Yeah, you're very welcome because I know I'm on the same journey and yeah, and so just thank you for standing in your truth and standing in your power because it ripples out, like I said. So I'm so excited to see everything that you have. And I know you work with Juno as well, right? I really want to sit down with her. She's oh my gosh, she's incredible. But
Yes, you
right,
have to interview her.
yeah,
She is a fireball.
absolutely, totally. Just it's so cool.
Yeah, I've
Women.
been her creative director now for about a year. We have so many amazing things happening with her.
Yes,
Some stuff I can't talk about yet because
of
it's
course.
super, super top secret. But Yeah, it's really exciting. We just she has a boot camp that she just did, and she created a scholarship, and I feel very lucky that Wallybird is a sponsor in that scholarship for 20 Black students to get free guitar lessons for 12 weeks and be mentored, into the business and stuff like that. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to see these students and see their journey, and really excited about mentoring them.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh
going
my
to be
gosh.
awesome.
What a beautiful purpose. Oh my gosh. So
Yeah. So
exciting.
we have a lot of cool things going on, and I cannot wait to shoot the music videos for her album. We have incredible things happening for her music. And I'm so excited to shoot the music videos. I just want this COVID to be over so we can get on set.
It's a hard time for creatives. I will definitely say that. I mean, I'm used to doing these interviews like in a studio. So
Yeah,
but,
I bet.
there's silver linings and everything because it's allowed me to connect with people who I otherwise wouldn't have been able to physically sit down with, like you and like so many others. So it's all about perspective. But I am eager to be able to create
Totally.
in a way that feels authentic to me.
Totally. And I think creatives in general, like try not to let anything stop you. Don't let anything
Right.
get in the way of,
Of
okay, so
bulldozing.
maybe we can't do it this way, but we can figure out another way. That's like the producer in me going like, okay, wait, we can't do this. Let's move. Let's move.
And it builds your
Yeah.
resiliency, which trickles out into so many different parts of your life. So I'm taking
Yes.
the growth and I'm allowing it to build me and shape me. So it's all good. But where can people find you? Where's your stuff at?
Where's my handles?
Yeah.
Yes. You can find me on Instagram, which I'm mostly on, at Diane Foster Official. You can find me on Facebook sometimes, at Diane Foster. I'm also on Twitter very rarely at Lady Di Loves You, and WallybirdProductions.com, and then also on IG, Wallybird Productions.
Nice. Awesome. And I know people will check out your stuff and it's so incredible. And as for me, Jasmine Kylene on YouTube, on Instagram, LilaLuna.tv, the usual. And so thank you so much, Diane, for sharing your light with me. Thank you for standing in your purpose. And to anyone who's watching this, I hope you feel empowered to do the same. If there's anything to take away from this, is that there's room for all of us, really. I think that really stood out to me. And yeah, thank you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Love being here with you.
Perfect.